I will be impeccable with everything I say and spread positivity and love and light that way. Well, what I really, really like about these 10 affirmations is that they build upon each other. And so obviously, you got that when I said, well, the one with I step outside my comfort zone and don't act on fear alone. And I said that comes from, just kind of a lack of confidence or a lack of willingness to make a mistake and say you're sorry or learn, right? We learn from our mistakes, and it can be exhausting, especially if you make a lot of mistakes like me. So this one really builds beautifully on yesterday's, which yesterday's was the one that said, you give gifts to everyone you see throughout your day with a smile or a hug or hearing what they have to say. Well, so I also went into talking about how when my friend says something negative about herself, I tell her she shouldn't talk about my friend that way, meaning her. And I think that falls directly now into the 7th affirmation of 10, which is that I will be impeccable with everything I say. So this kind of happens a little backwards. At first, you govern what you're saying, but the result is that you eventually start governing what you think, because as you govern what you say, you just basically say to yourself, I am not going to make any negative statements today. So that's what it means by I will be impeccable with what I say. I will be impeccable with my word. And this, I should also mention that this affirmation comes from a book called The 4 Agreements. And I'm going to just flash it up on the screen. There it is. And that is a really great coffee table book. And if you ever get a chance to read, it's a very quick read. And there's 4 agreements in the first agreement. And actually, number 7, 8, 9, and 10 are the 4 agreements that I have created. I've made into a rhyme to become an affirmation that I say to myself every day. Because you can't go wrong reminding yourself of these 4 things. And so this is the first of the 4, the 7th of the 10 affirmations. I'm so sorry if that's making noise. Hang on. Okay. So being impeccable with your word means using your words only for good. And the book it depends on kind of what you're willing to buy into. The book even says that, it's not for everyone. It's not, it's based on an ancient religion, these 4 agreements. And so the book is the translation. And just like any written work, it's up to you then to translate what it means to you. So, I basically just took what I really liked, what kind of spoke to me about these agreements, and I wrote them out. And then, of course, I decided these are too good. I'm going to make affirmations out of them. So, being impeccable with your word basically means using your word for positivity and to spread goodness rather than negativity or badness, I guess, or bad. Go to the light side, have the force, not the dark side or whatever, use the force for good. And it's your word, right? Your word has an effect on people, and your word has an effect on you. So another quote by Jonathan Lemon. I think he said in one of his meditations, "It is counterintuitive to my happiness to speak against myself or against others." And I really, really, that's something that you can just kind of say in your head all day long at first until you get kind of in the habit of just checking those negative comments. So back to what I was saying, it starts verbally, it ends mentally. First, you're going to be governing what you say. You're going to make an agreement with yourself that you will have impeccable words that day. So you will refrain from negative talk about yourself, about others, about any situation. And once you make that agreement, it'll be difficult at first. It takes practice. But here's a great example. we're driving in the car, and I kind of drive like a grandma. I like to drive slow. I like to take in my scenery. I feel like life is a gift, and I'm gonna open it piece by piece. So I drive slowly. I drive the speed limit, okay? I'm not like the crazy lady who's going like 30 and a 50. But I go just a touch over the speed limit. I don't typically speed. I like to give myself plenty of time to get places. And my kids and I just kind of have conversations and cruise. I'm a cruiser. So sometimes I'm not going fast enough for the person behind me, and they go flying by me, right? And there are many times in my life when I might have been like, rah, or said something negative, thought something negative, right? Didn't add to the positivity of my world at that time. And because it is counterintuitive to my happiness to speak out against myself or others, what I've started doing is making a joke. And every time somebody speeds past me, I say, ooh, they need to go pee-pee. And or something to that matter. That's kind of the inside joke between me and my kids. Now I don't even have to say it. If somebody passes me anywhere, my kids just say, well, they must need to go to the bathroom. Or, whoo, somebody needs to pee-pee. And it's just kind of a funny, like, ha ha ha, they must need to use the restroom. Or the idea is that they have made something more important than abiding by the law, and that's not a negative statement. That's just fact. They've decided they need to go fast for whatever reason, and we don't know the reason, right? We're not making assumptions about what the reason are. We're not going to diagnose them. And here's the thing, we're not going to internalize it, and we're not going to make it into something negative. It's not going to ruin my day because somebody flew past me, even if they honk or flip me off. You know what? It says more about what's going on in their life than it does with what's going on in mine. And I can't change people. I can only change my reaction to them. And that starts with my word. So I will be impeccable with my word. And I can make a joke. I can laugh. And if it tickles me, then it's good. And that's, I guess, all I have about that rhyme. So happy Thursday, everybody. I'll see you again tomorrow.